Caroline Manzo's brutally honest warning about Real Housewives of Rhode Island echoes Teresa Giudice's cautionary tale of jail. Caroline Manzo may have emerged from the Real Housewives of New Jersey relatively unscathed, but she has a stark warning for anyone who considers joining the franchise. Teresa Giudice. She just gave it to me straight, Fraser said on the Behind the Velvet Rope with David Yontef podcast. The show would have broken us. And a lot of relationships and families get broken on those shows. And we were even talking about Teresa Giudice and Joe and how he got sent back to Italy. She got put in jail. Those things are just not worth it. And people are already doing that to the alleged cast. In 2014, Teresa and Joe Giudice pleaded guilty to multiple counts of fraud and both served time in prison. After completing his sentence, Joe was deported to Italy, having never obtained U.S. citizenship. Fraser told Collider she is a longtime friend of Manzo's, so she immediately asked her for advice when producers hotly pursued her for RHORI. She and Manzo had a 2-hour phone conversation where Manzo told her. She blatantly said, "Do not do it," Alexa recalls. "You will blow up your life. These shows are not good." And she was telling us the ins and the outs and how producers cut and slice and make her react to things that she didn't want to react to. Manzo shared how producers can edit reactions and moments designed for drama. She said there were times where producers cut my face and put it to a reaction that I didn't really have. Fraser reflected on the podcast. "They snip at my husband's voice. They tried to make it seem like I was cheating on my husband. My husband was cheating on me. They tried to make it look like I had a problem with my cousin in this family. And they didn't talk to me. And she just gave it straight." Luckily, she said, her and her husband are very, very strong. They've built a solid foundation. Her family's strong. Several Housewives cast members have since divorced after being on one of the shows, which was not lost on Manzo either. Manzo believes that if her family weren't as strong as they were, they too could have been broken. Fraser, who is married to psychic medium Matt Fraser, ultimately turned down RHORI. Fraser has been in the public eye for a while and starred in E's Meet the Frasers, so RHORI may have been looking for a bigger name to help helm the series. That's why Dolores Catania's name may currently be in the mix. Rumors that Catania, a longtime RHONJ cast member, is joining RHORI have been circulating since the show was announced, but Fraser doesn't see how she could seamlessly fit into the cast. She said on the podcast that she'd never heard of Catania coming to Rhode Island. "I just saw there was a couple of articles kind of rumored. Again, everything's alleged," Fraser said. "Who knows what's real or what's not? So they did say because she's New Jersey, they're kind of doing that overlap and will take over New Jersey or whatever happens in the franchise." Fraser, who recently gave birth to her second son, said she and husband Matt live in a bubble and are busy with their children. "But I have never personally seen her around. Nobody that we know has been like, 'Oh, she was at this hair salon or getting her nails done here.' So it could be made up, could be just to elevate Rhode Island a little bit. Give it the boost that maybe they think it needs. I'm not sure." Caroline Manzo has never been one to mince words. The former Real Housewives of New Jersey matriarch has built her reputation on straight talk, thick skin, and a deep belief in family loyalty. But even longtime fans were taken aback when Caroline issued a pointed, no-holds-barred warning to the newest members of the Real Housewives franchise, the cast of the freshly announced Real Housewives of Rhode Island. And her cautionary message came with a chilling echo of Teresa Giudice's infamous descent from reality star royalty to prison inmate. "I hope they understand what they're signing up for," Caroline said during an interview on her Dear Albie podcast. "Because Bravo might sell you glitz and glam, but what they don't always show you is how quickly your life can spiral if you're not careful." Manzo's tone was part mentor, part prophet. Her words, infused with hard-earned wisdom, weren't just a warning about fame. They were a stark reminder of the pitfalls that come with mixing real life and reality TV. And in referencing Teresa Giudice, Her former co-star turned legal cautionary tale. Caroline wasn't being petty. She was being brutally honest.
Cost of reality
Caution-drenched though she's long since distanced herself from the franchise that made her a household name, she hasn't forgotten how it chews people up and spits them out. In her heyday, Caroline often played the voice of reason on Rhode, frequently clashing with Teresa over the latter's increasingly erratic behavior. "I called it years ago," Caroline reminded her listeners, referencing a now iconic reunion prediction where she said Teresa would end up in jail. "Not because I'm psychic, but because I could see the writing on the wall." The hunger for fame, the obsession with image, it leads people to make bad decisions. Teresa, of course, would go on to serve 11 months in federal prison for fraud, along with her now ex-husband Giudice. Their fall from grace became one of the most dramatic story arcs in Real Housewives history. And now Caroline worries that the latest franchise, set in the seemingly idyllic, yacht-filled harbors of Rhode Island, is already showing signs of slipping down a similar path. Glitz, glam, and IRS investigations. The Real Housewives of Rhode Island, which Bravo announced earlier this year, promises a coastal cocktail of affluence, boutique fashion lines, and Newport mansion drama. But with flashy lifestyle already being flaunted on social media and whispers of off-screen financial chaos surfacing, Caroline isn't the only one raising an eyebrow. "You look at their Instagram pages," she said, "and it's all designer bags, luxury cars, private jets. I'm not saying it's not real, but I've seen this movie before. And we all know how it ends." Indeed, early rumors have suggested at least one cast member is facing scrutiny for questionable business practices, while another is allegedly involved in a messy divorce featuring disputed assets and possible tax issues. If true, the Rhode cast may already be flirting with the kind of drama that extends far beyond confessionals and wine-tossing. Teresa's ghost still haunts Bravo. In many ways, Teresa Giudice's downfall changed how Bravo handles its stars. Contracts are now tighter. Financial disclosures are stricter. Yet the allure of the Bravo lifestyle, the illusion of effortless wealth and fame, remains dangerously intoxicating. Teresa, for her part, has tried to turn her prison stint into a redemptive narrative. She's written books, spoken about finding herself behind bars, and rebuilt her brand with astonishing speed. But Caroline sees through the glitter. "She paid a heavy price," Caroline said, "and she's still paying it, whether she admits it or not. Jail changes you. Public humiliation changes you, and no amount of Instagram filters or fake friends will fix that." That's the real lesson Caroline wants the Rhode cast to learn. Reality TV doesn't just put a spotlight on your life. It magnifies every flaw, every misstep, every lie. And if you aren't grounded in something real, you'll lose yourself chasing a life that only looks perfect from the outside. The fame trap. Caroline also pointed out that most new housewives, especially in recent seasons, seem more interested in becoming influencers or launching skincare brands than actually sharing their lives with any vulnerability. "Everyone wants the glam squad, the glam team, the glam life," she said. "But what they don't realize is that when the cameras stop rolling and the lawsuits hit, Bravo's not going to pay your bills or fight your battles." She urged the Rhode Island ladies to do their homework, hire good accountants, and keep their personal drama personal whenever possible. "Don't let a show about your life become your whole life," she warned, "because the minute you lose control of the narrative, someone else, usually someone with ratings in mind, is going to write your story for you." Will the Rhode cast listen? Whether the Real Housewives of Rhode Island cast will heed Caroline's warning is anyone's guess. Thus far, they've appeared more than eager to step into the Bravo spotlight, sharing behind-the-scenes snippets, teasing lavish drama, and hyping unfiltered girl boss energy. But perhaps they should consider Teresa's story more carefully. Not as a dramatic plotline, but as a very real example of how quickly it can all go wrong. "I'm not trying to scare them," Caroline clarified. "I just want them to go into this with their eyes open." Teresa didn't, and I don't think she ever truly recovered from what it cost her. It's a rare moment of raw candor in a world where truth is often edited in post-production. But Caroline's voice carries weight. She's lived it, seen it, and emerged wiser. Her words are less a warning than a roadmap for those brave, or foolish, enough to follow in her footsteps. As Real Housewives of Rhode Island prepares to debut later this year, Caroline Manzo's brutal honesty might just be the most real thing about the entire franchise. Whether or not the new cast listens, well, Raw history says they probably won't.